podcast. Let's talk about this episode. I'm Dave Mader coming at you with Star Trek TV and movie reviews. In the midst of a pandemic, at least we have Star Trek and podcasts to get us through this quarantine. Ain't that right? I'm joined by a fabulous panel today. What a panel do we have? Maybe the greatest of all, perhaps. Who knows? I'm joined by my lovely wife, Jane Mader. Welcome, Jane.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for having me on
today. You're welcome. Welcome, Jane. And the ever salty Jody Simpson. Say hello, Jody.
Why am I ever salty? That's how he always introduces me. I'm ever salty.
What, are you not salty?
I don't think I'm that salty, am I?
What's the opposite of salty?
Sweet.
Sweet?
Oh, I'm not sweet. I'm more like
sour.
What's that fourth taste? The umami taste,
yeah,
or the fifth taste? Is it sweet, spicy, right?
No, not spicy.
Sweet, hot,
sour.
Just out of curiosity, what the hell does this have to do with the episode?
Because you're salty. You're salty.
Right,
anyway, we're moving on. We're here to talk about the penultimate episode of season 1 of Picard, which is some Latin phrase, which means I got a few different translations, but I believe the most current one is "Even in Arcadia, there am I." Jody, how'd you like the episode?
I liked it. I don't know why I liked it, but I did for the most part.
You were pretty excited on the first viewing.
Well, I was excited for certain things. Seeing the Borg ship show up through the transwarp conduit, that was pretty cool, I thought. I'm a little I don't know what to say about the whole episode in general. The whole episode, I guess, for the most part, wasn't bad.
Was it salty?
Salty?
No, it was not salty.
Or sour?
It was a bit sour. But yeah, it was more succulent, I guess. No. Overall, I thought it was a decent episode. It's definitely one of the better episodes in the entire series so far, in my opinion. The thing that probably got me more excited was probably the preview at the end of the episode.
Yeah, this is a part 1, as we mentioned, and so we're just day off. Jane, looking over to you.
I liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it. I think I liked other episodes better. I felt it was a build-up. It's a part 1. So again, maybe I'm excited about next episode, but I felt like it was just a build-up to the next episode, which I'm excited for.
It was a bit of setup.
Yeah, setup episode.
Okay. Well,
it's funny how they did that.
I got some headlines here. Let's talk headlines. Mm-hmm. Headlines. Coming at you with some headlines.
It's like a new segment or something.
No, well, sort of. I have the little agenda, as they say.
You're not changing the format, are you?
No, we're not changing the format.
Okay.
Stick to the format, Jody. You're so salty. All right, here we go. So talk about that opening scene. You can defend a planet with flower power now. What do you think of those orchids?
I like them. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was very confused. Like, what's going on? They're being dragged down.
It was very confusing for me. I had no idea what was going on, because they show up, then the Romulan ship shows up, right? And Eric, the little, he's beep, 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 and he kind of tricks them for a minute. He does some holographic cloaking decoy work. Then the Borg ship shows up, right? And do we know that it's under 7 of 9's control? I guess we did.
We did. Picard didn't.
Picard does not. Yeah. They don't know. They just said the Romulans, the Borg, somebody's here. It's bad. But what happens next? They all get basically attacked by the flowers, and they get pulled into the planet, right?
They get pulled down to the surface. I'm still not exactly sure why, because they were still alive when they got down there, and the synths didn't come to get them, to go after them. They had enough time to go to the Borg, go see the synth, walk into their main arena or whatever. So didn't they know about what the flowers were doing?
Did they not, Jody? Did they know what the flowers were doing? Did the synths?
No. I had no idea what the hell was going on, so I don't know how they did.
Do the Capalians, that's what I'm going to start calling them, because this is Capalius, the planet they're at. Do they control those flowers, or are the flowers sort of like semi-autonomous, do you think?
I think they controlled them.
Well, no, they definitely control them because they said later on that they had like 10 of them in their fleet or something like that, and they could build more or something like that.
Yeah, they had 15.
And they're talking about defending the planet, so
they
definitely
5.
control them.
They control them. They said, like, there's ships here. We don't know if they're friend or foe. So
my theory is that the ship that Picard's on, obviously Soji's on, and maybe they can, figure out that Soji, maybe she has some sort of signature or something that they can detect with the flowers and just bring them down nicely. Whereas the Borg ship just fucking crashed right in, and what's his name ship went down too, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It did.
Narek
went down. Yeah. They all went down. So, but the flowers also saved them from dying. Mm-hmm. So the flowers are.
Yeah, the flower was almost like a protective barrier as they crashed, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, did you like that? I thought it was kind of neat, kind of visually interesting.
I don't really care. I thought it was kind of stupid.
You don't care with the flower power, Jody?
No, I thought it was. They're doing too much of this orchid shit, and it's just I get that you're trying to tie it in and all that, but it's like, eh. And especially when she's like, "What are those?" and those orchid-looking things. She's like, "We call them orchids," and it's like, okay, Soji, settle down.
We know all about it. She's like slowly remembering her memory.
Yeah, she's all of a sudden is a fucking Encyclopedia Britannica of that fucking planet, and she's never been there as far as she remembers, but yet she was there.
The recovery from her amnesia is going at about the speed of the plot.
It's very convenient speed.
Yeah, it's like when I need to know something, I will. And so, yeah, they all get pulled down to the planet. I guess, but so when they're getting pulled down, Picard said, like, he's like closing his eyes. He goes, "Thanks so much for coming." Right?
Well, he thought he was going to die, I think.
I thought it was like I thought he was being telepathically spoken to, but Jane did not.
I thought he was losing it, like dying.
I think he thought it was like end of days for him, right?
Yeah, like I'm dying. Thanks for much, guys.
That's how I interpret it.
Oh
my God, there's some sort of random guy in the background.
The random Brit in the spotting in the podcast. Oh, there you go.
Sensual.
Making a sneak peek appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get down there.
I think we skipped over
Picard.
Picard telling him that he's
thank
dying.
You so much for coming.
He tells everyone he's dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jody scanned him.
And if anybody else mentions it again, torpedo for you.
Yeah, we will not be talking about this, or you will not get paid. You will not get your stipend, and you will not let go.
No.
It's almost like that scene alone, I just thought was kind of like put in there to like fill time or something, because it was just like, it's not even really the way Picard would do things, normally. He would just be kind of like, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm dying. What is it? What does it matter? Well, let's move on. We have other things to do." What?
I'm jumping ahead, but I think it's a setup for something. That's why they're talking about it now.
They're reminding us of this, that
something's coming up.
He's got a terminal Euromotic syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're probably going to kill him off in the end of the series. I think that's probably what they're setting up for, but
I don't think they're killing him off. I think they're gonna. Well, if we doing spoilers, I think they're sticking him in that golem.
Well, maybe. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but hold on, we'll get to that because that comes towards the end. But I'm kind of trying to get us to like Capelius because that's where some more like big reveals happen. But I guess what happened after, he's dying. They talked about it. They're upset about it to varying degrees, I'd say. They start marching towards the Borg cube. Conveniently, Elnor 7-9 and a whole bunch of XBs the Romulans didn't execute are well intact. So, what'd you think of that scene, everybody?
Remind me a bit of that episode of Next Gen where they're on the planet looking for the Borg people, and then Lore shows up and he's like running the show. Where they're all kind of like just like trot. We'll eventually come across something. No big deal.
And Hugh was in that episode too, and Hugh was not here, but he's referenced. So,
well, barely, but he was referenced. Yeah.
You're talking about Descent, part 1 and 2.
The more we get away from the episode of Hugh being killed, the more I realize that really they kind of really did fuck that up a lot. Like they should have did something better for him.
I just would have kept the character around. I don't understand.
And I'm not even a big fan of the character at all. It's just,
like
the one that 7 was his like her like kid, I guess, and
Icheb?
Icheb. I always forget his damn name because I just don't care. But yeah, I hated that character on Voyager even, so didn't matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This scene didn't do much for me. Like other than to establish that they're all here and they all know that they're here now.
Yeah.
Because Picard's like so happy to see 7 and 9. Like I said, you just saw her. Like I know it was like 5 episodes ago, but in like the span of time, it's been maybe
that scene would have been 20 times better if while they were walking, somebody had some coconuts.
Little Monty Python.
A little bit of Holy Grail there.
So, is there any talk of 7 getting her own show?
God, I hope so.
I got that feeling.
You want the Fenris Ranger show?
Got the feeling, yeah, definitely from this episode. I remember. I thought it was more towards the end, but so maybe that's why we're 7. I think it's coming.
Yeah.
Not against it.
Of all the spin-offs they've announced,
Yeah.
that is the one
I
I object to the least.
They have announced it that they're thinking about.
No,
okay.
I'd rather see that than even a Christopher
What
Pike
spin-offs
show.
have they announced?
The Christopher Pike show.
Oh God, no one's going to care about that. I
He's,
don't know why they're
he's
trying.
the only good thing about Discovery. And I would also say,
So why don't they just make Discovery that?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I would be down with that.
Or they just should have kept him around, but they couldn't because reasons. But and then
Let's not talk about Discovery.
Section 31 is the other show that they've been talking about doing.
And then the lower deck.
I would love to see that one. The lower deck one.
No,
they basically said they're not doing it.
Oh, they're not doing it? I thought that was guaranteed. Okay.
No, I think that's still happening, but who knows?
No, I heard it was already canceled, but
who knows with the corona? It might be all done.
Can't make a cartoon with corona.
No, can't get
sure you
work.
can.
Sure you can. And yeah, like I don't know, like you don't want the Section 31 show. I know it sounds awesome, but it would be all around Georgiou, and it would be very.
It depends on which Section 31 it is.
Yeah, well, it would be the one you don't like.
If it would be like Discovery version, then
yes.
no.
Yes,
correct. Yeah, I'm done with the prequels. Let's go forward again.
But they're at the Borg cube, the artifact. There's a brief reunion with Elnor, 7 of 9. They're really there to.
Okay, let's not glance over that for a minute though, because literally 7 of 9 shows up, kicks some bodies off of something, and all you hear is a slightly monotone version of the Voyager theme song.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That was cool.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Actually, the music is something. I think it's maybe in the Borg theme is playing, and then all of a sudden it shifts to the.
Yeah, it shifts over to Voyager for a second. Yeah.
Oh.
That was a nice little.
Only when she shows up though, like literally.
She's standing there, and I'm
standing above everybody else, and she's kicking bodies off.
She still looks good. She's got it.
Oh, I'm telling you, that girl can definitely. She's
7 of 9.
aging very well.
She is.
Good for her.
Or 52 or whatever she's now.
Yeah, I don't know if she's had any work done, but I don't care.
Who? Yeah, probably, well, maybe some Borg implants. Who knows? And then they get to the scan room. They go, I need to use the scanner, 7 of 9. So they figure out that the Borg fleet of 218 ships, I believe it was. 218, yeah.
218.
Because she's like, we only have to worry about the first 109. So this is kind of like big bad guy coming to kill us all. Okay, now we're on our way back, and we're going to the Capella Station, which is where all of the synths live. We've been kind of building to this for the whole season, so it's finally here.
Do we have any more titles to put down here?
We sure do.
Well, I still think flower power is appropriate for the next scene.
Yes.
Because of.
Let's talk about this. Okay.
Okay. Very happy for this.
Yeah.
Not happy for this.
Okay, let's talk about the first one. Here, Jay, move in a little closer. Yeah, because we have to.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to really get close.
Or I can just go the Sorry, I can go solo off. Here we go.
There we go.
That works better. Okay, so let's talk about this son. It's Alton Inigo Soong. He is the son of Noonien Soong, the creator of Data,
which is also AI soon.
AI soon.
Oh, his initials?
Is that? Yeah. Can I just tell you? Okay, so we meet him in this episode. What were your initial thoughts on seeing like another Soong family member show up?
You're talking to me?
Both of you.
Both of. I was. I'm sorry, but I'm like, oh. I don't know. That was my initial reaction. Maybe not my ending one, but yeah.
I'm always impressed how all the Soons look the same.
All of them, even their
Like-
ancestor from like 300 years ago, look
Oh yeah,
exactly
like
the same.
Yeah.
literally, they all look identical. Like there's not like any changes done at all. It's just like wow. But
Yeah.
it is definitely nice to see Brett Spiner.
It was, yeah.
I guess if this is a way to get Brent Spiner back into Star Trek.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong though, but when he was in the flashback scenes playing Data, he looked a hell of a lot chunkier.
Yeah, he looked puffier. It's in his Data makeup, you mean?
Like extremely different.
Let's see if we can bring that up.
Because like it's wow. I was just like, holy shit.
You
Like you see him here and you're like, that's the Data I know. Why didn't he look like that?
Maybe he's doing some keto.
Here, yeah, let's
Well, unless they were shot like a year and a half difference or something. Oh wow, there's me.
yeah, well here we go. Okay, now we got all of them there, right? So
like it just I don't know, maybe it's the lighting or something.
It could be the
Like
white
the bottom
makeup on your face.
Well, the bottom of his face is more lit up down here, so I'm wondering if that's making it look like he's bigger.
he does look more plasticky in the makeup for sure, as you would expect. Yeah, actually, that's kind of interesting to see them all kind of lined up there because we also have this new android, Sutra,
Yeah, like
who I guess is an
Kama
earlier model of the Soji and Daj, the Jana character we met.
The thing that bothers me about the Sutra
Mm-hmm.
is her pupils. One's like here, the other one's like up a little bit more. God, it drives me nuts.
She's still biological, right? Like
She is, but she's. I take it that they're an earlier model, the ones with the green eyes and this.
Yeah, they haven't like mastered.
Skin yet.
oh, we lost Jody. Hold on. Oh no.
Oh no, Jody.
Oh, let's get
He's
back
ready.
in.
He's ready to join again.
Here, hide. Okay, let's just hide. Hide. He's all the way over here.
There he is. There's Jody.
Hold on, Jody.
He's trying.
He's back.
He's coming.
Stuck in a bubble. Oh, there I am.
Oh, there he is.
He's back.
I thought I was being quarantined.
You were quarantined from this. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we met this Soon kid, right? And I would imagine that his mother is this person, Juliana Taynor. Is that Soon?
That'd be the logic.
Okay. Yes. She never
Look at all
mentioned
these
him, though.
pictures we got here. It's like
Right.
we're professional.
I know, until it bounces you
Amazing.
out.
Now, this son has never been mentioned, right?
No, actually, well, when we met Juliana
Well,
Taynor,
she was already in the episode though. She was already an android.
correct.
The original
And-
one was dead at that point.
Correct. She was a replacement of the original person. Her mind had been like copied, downloaded into the software.
There was no mention though.
Well, she specifically
Exactly.
says we couldn't have children of our own, right? In that episode. Now,
You're right.
right? Now that
remember
doesn't necessarily contradict things. It's possible that the Android version had this memory sort of erased, that she just didn't remember having a child with him. But
So who built Sutra? Was Sung
this new Soon,
Newsom? It was
and Maddox.
And Maddox. So if the mother, Juliana, look at her skin. Like there's.
oh, she was made to look,
So there's kind of a little bit of technology.
but she's an android.
Lost.
The Juliana Taynor is an
She's an
actual-
android. She's not a synthetic.
She's not organic.
Biological. She's
No.
not organic. Okay.
And so I guess what's his name again? Alton, AI Soon we'll call him. AI. He's been, I don't know, he's presumably the same age as Brent Spiner is, which is about 70, right?
Sure.
You know, so he's been kicking around all this time.
Yeah.
He looks good.
We never knew about him.
We never knew about him.
We never knew about him.
Jada didn't know about him.
Data didn't know about him, or Data never talked
Never
about
talked
him.
about him.
So
Laura never brought him up.
Maddox knew about him. Maddox knew enough about
Well,
him.
we could also presume that maybe the reason why, pardon me, he was created was because of the fact that they were hiding the planet, right? So Maybe he was there and he was banished to this planet or something to do his good there. Then maybe that's why. But Data also didn't mention anything about this planet either.
No.
So, and it's not like all this happened in 20 years. Like,
it seems like that's what they're postulating.
I don't know what.
Like 20 years ago or 14 years
no,
ago.
because there's people on that planet that are like, there's twins that are definitely older than 20 years old.
But I think they're born, like they're made at the age.
Oh, you're made at the age.
They don't grow up. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think they grow up.
Ah.
I don't know. Like, who knows? Maybe Data knew about this. I don't know.
Who cares?
Whatever.
That's really what it comes down to. Who cares?
So I thought when they got to
Well, it's part of the storyline. It doesn't matter.
we got a definite TNG feeling with the beautiful costumes. When we get to all the flowing colored costumes.
Yeah, let's give
a picture of that.
Let's go to our next headline.
I was hoping more for that white suit place. Oh wow.
Where they run all the time?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I'm losing the dial.
Wesley gets he's gonna be put to death.
Yes.
Fell into
because he was playing football and fell into a flower bed.
Flowers again, yeah.
Those flowers always fuck you. So how come we're not widescreen anymore?
You shut up for a second.
We can't see anybody.
I'm bringing up the image. Okay, here we go.
At least put Jane on the screen. Like, come on.
There we go.
There you go. That's good.
All right. So this is the biggest thing I had the issue with. We met Sutra. Okay, she's an earlier model of the Soji.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that this annoyed.
This pissed me off. Like anything. I'm like, okay.
I don't know if I'd go so far as to say pissed off, but I was definitely annoyed.
The Vulcans.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
The Vulcans are a telepathic species. It's not a tech. It's like, yes, it's a skill, but it's not something you could learn by reading it.
Well, they clearly did.
Yeah. Telepathy, whatever it is, whatever mind is. I don't know.
Even Optimus Jane is upset at this.
Yeah, how did she learn this? She studied Vulcans, and said, I want to learn how to mind meld.
They could have come up with just I know they need the purpose of this is they have to get the information out of Girardi's head, right? But they could have done it some other way. Like they could have.
Yeah, don't they have like one of them total recall machines or anything where they can?
They could have invented any number of things.
I think this was just a quick thing. This was one of those, this is easier than us setting up a whole machine and all that.
She could have even said something to that effect. Vulcans can biologically mind meld. I've learned to set it up so I can still put something in your mind and mind. Like
why didn't they just say, oh, well, she's got like things in her fingers or something that can read minds.
Yeah.
Why did you have to say it was a mind meld?
Yeah.
That's the thing that really pissed me off the whole thing.
It was like laziness to me. And
yeah, I'll give you that.
But it's part of the rules. You can learn it. Anybody can learn a mind meld.
There's so much weird canon going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when they add these new things, I'm like, okay, does this thing bother me or not? Most of the time, I'm saying no. This is an exception where I'm like, yes, okay. Like, I guess other than the idea that more of the casual audience is maybe familiar with what a mind meld is, and is just they've used it already once.
Maybe it's easier.
This is the best way to get information. Like, this is how they transfer from mind to mind.
But all they had to say was, these versions of these beings, they have the ability to, monitor mind waves with their fingers or something. That's all they had to really do, and it would have been fine. But
yeah.
Anyway,
what did you think about what we learned from this mind meld, which was the fact that the warning, the admonition, is created by artificial life forms who presumably wiped out their organic creators at one point, and then created this federation across galaxies to
outside of time and space.
That was interesting.
I'm like, outside of time and space.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Thoughts?
Thoughts is what confused me, and you tried or kind of explain it to me was, why are we seeing data? Why did we see the Starfleet, whatever that thing's called, in that person's eye, the little delta?
Right. Some more things that were not from thousands of years.
Were not from thousands of years. So you said that these aliens, or no, these synths, whatever, must be updating the admonition.
They must be
source,
because we saw a Starfleet icon at one point. We saw data that he was sort of referenced on some level with this, and that that's not information they would have had.
See, they should have just put up like a YouTube link or something and just said, destruction trailer number 2 or destruction trailer number 3. Oh, they just keep updating the trailer and it's in her head. It's like, oh, whatever. Like, this is anything. Number one, anything with Jody automatically pisses me off to begin with. But on top of that, this whole scene just drives me fucking mental. Everything about it, and even I understand they're trying to give us a reference point as to what's going on, but it angers me. It gets me salty.
Why? Because Jody's involved? It gets you salty.
Salty.
I'm salty about Jody, for sure.
Salty about Jody.
Very salty.
She bugs me too.
She's been.
Could we not have picked a better vessel for this?
Yeah, that's her job, I guess, is to be the carrier of this information.
Why are they believing her? Why are they bringing her to the sins? Why do they believe that now she's changed her mind? She's good. No, she's a murderer.
She had a bad day.
She had a bad day, murdered him, and now she.
Well, they're trying to make it look like she's a victim, right? So they're like, oh, well, she's a victim. She's got all this shit in her head, and she saw what was going to come, so she had to do it, and she really loved him, and it's like, oh, whatever. Well, and now she's going to be hooking up with Rios.
Yeah, that they seem to be increasing their.
They're already starting to put.
Which I don't need either. I don't need these two to be romantically linked.
I don't need anybody on this ship to be romantic. I don't care about any of them that much.
I prefer him single. Thank you very much.
It's just like the whole Worf Deanna thing.
Yeah.
During
sometimes these work. Sometimes these relationships work on Star Trek, and more often than not, they don't.
And even with they showed us a couple episodes ago, Deanna and Riker. It's like, I don't really care that much about that. I want to see what's happening with the characters, but
right, whether it's Worf and Jedzir or
don't care about that either.
Tom Harris and B'Elanna Torres,
don't care.
I like that.
Yeah,
some I do. Some relationships I like. This one no.
It's just all of them remind me of O'Brien and Keiko.
What's wrong with O'Brien and Keiko?
No one cares. No one cares. Oh, come on. Anybody care?
Molly.
I don't care about Molly.
Yoshi.
What did Molly do for us?
Yoshi.
How did Molly progress Star Trek in any way?
She had that episode where she went into the portal and she came back.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah, that was this one. But it's
aged.
Okay, but I guess what we're talking about here is that this admonishment, this warning, this crazy thing that makes you bash your head in with a rock and peel your own face off and whatever.
Oh, if only it would happen to Jody. Anyway.
It did, but it didn't have that effect on her. And now it's gone into Sutra, who seemed like she was a good character until this. And then she turns and goes, oh, I can call the evil android cavalry to come and save the day? Yeah.
Good-looking girl with long black hair. She was never up to any good.
Yeah. Well.
So these.
No offense, Jane.
I got brown hair.
That's true. It is brown.
This message, it gets these people, the people who have this in their head that went through this experience, either secondhand or firsthand. They have no choice. That's the words that they use in the episode. These people are almost they feel like they have no choice but to do these extreme things. But I guess the question is, are we buying that? Are we buying what they're selling? I'm not.
What the organics going crazy?
From a character standpoint, do we are we accepting that Jody is sympathetic because she didn't have a choice but to do what she did?
I don't find her sympathetic, but I think.
And now Sutra is now
the human brain. I accept that the human brain organic brain couldn't comprehend or handle this amount of information so quickly, whatever made them go insane. I accept that.
But for the android?
that the android can. What I don't understand is, okay, so they set up this planet of 8 or 8 suns or whatever it is.
Yeah, the Conclave of 8.
Conclave of 8. Just hoping a synth out there would come get their message. Like what? But then they're updating it with Data's image, and so. Like what? Like why? Why don't they just go directly to this planet if they kind of know about what's happening in the Alpha Quadrant?
Well, and the Romulans are so far behind. It's like they have all this time to do all this shit. They got time to lock away the guy. What's his name? The Romulan guy that was following them. Narek, that's it. I'm terrible with the names in this show. Except for Jody. But anyway, and whatever the big puffy hair girl's name is. Raffi. I hate Raffi too. But anyway, they have all this time, and it's like the Romulans, like, come on. And you actually see, not to spoil it too hard, but you actually see that Commander O is on a Romulan ship in the previews for the next episode. So it's like
at the end of this episode, right? Or did you just see
it's
I think it's in the preview.
Yeah, okay. So but we see like the fleet at the very end. Yeah.
We see the fleet at the very end, yeah. So it's like, why are they so behind? Like, she would, if anybody knows what's going on, it's her. She's got it all. She already knows everything. She passed it on to Jody. Like, she already has seen all this. She was there. Like, she should know what's going on at this point. So why is she so behind?
I mean, behind in what way?
Like, she's just showing up now. It's like they had time to hang out,
Oh, because the whole part at the beginning where they used this transwarp conduit to get there very fast. So they kind of like they sped forward to get there, and the Romulans are coming on conventional warp. So it's taking them.
All right.
They use Borg technology.
I'll allow it.
Get there faster.
Yeah, it was kind of Deus Ex Machina, literally, like for them to all have to get, because all of those characters had to get there before the Romulan fleet got there. We need a minute to breathe here. That's what this episode is a little bit, setting up the big like climactic finale. And yeah, so that's like, oh, we'll just take the transwarp hub and then we'll get there faster. I feel like the creatives of the show have like a bunch of Star Trek nerds who say, how can I do this? And then they say, just say it's a transwarp conduit. You'll get there.
Yeah, transwarp conduit. Borgs have them all over the place. It's fine.
I need the androids to learn what Jody knows. Well, just get the androids smart. They can just say they learned how to do the mind melt. And they go, okay, yeah, sure. We'll do that. All right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, it's that universe. Why not?
Yeah. I guess, but sometimes.
Well, look at the amount of crap they pulled in Discovery already.
Can we talk about though the fact that the result of this mind meld is that the androids kind of like turn on them, and I gotta say, androids are a bit disappointing. Like Sutra
shows your spelling of disappointing, but anyway.
I don't have spell check on here, Jody.
Anyway, yeah, I'm with you on that one, Dave.
Is that right?
What?
No. Anyway, doesn't matter.
What are you trying to spell?
The 3 people that are going to watch this understand what's going on. The androids suck. There you go.
There you go. Better?
Yeah. Which is funny because we always see the androids in like all the other series, and we're like, oh, these are pretty awesome. Like Data was pretty awesome, and various others.
Data aside, right? And I guess maybe Juliana Taynor is maybe the other exception, but most androids are evil. Most of this Soong family is evil or morally bankrupt in some way, or like taking huge risks.
Well, Laura was a dick, but it wasn't like he was programmed to be that.
Like they're like the original, the chronological first Soong we meet is the one from Enterprise, right? Who's like who's like the grandfather of Noonien Soong, right? And he's he was
part of the genetic wars and all that.
Yeah, he's part of he's like
eugenic wars.
Eugenics wars left off. He's doing all the cons, and then at the end it goes, maybe that doesn't work. Maybe I'll try androids instead. And so presumably his family line is all super dedicated to this, and they all go into this field.
The whole Soong family must be like wicked rich or something. Like how do they do all this?
Well, it's Star Trek, so
Grants?
it's a
I don't
post-scarcity economy, and money's not so
Supposedly.
important. But
Except, one of the, Frankies use money.
okay, but let's look at this too. Like, okay, so that's Data's like great grandfather. Then Data's actual grandfather, if you remember from the first season of Next Generation, was Ira Graves. He's like this evil.
I remember Ira
maybe it's the second
Graves.
season. He's like this evil guy. He's like, oh yeah, I taught Nooney and Soong everything he knew, so I'm kind of like your grandfather. And then he like downloaded his brain into Data.
Stole Data.
Right? He's bad too. Then Nooney and Soong himself, who was often called often wrong Soong because he just couldn't get anything right. But he goes off and then he creates B4. Okay. Then he makes lore. No, not so good.
No.
Come to think of it, the Federations have banned the artificial guys. Maybe they were onto something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Then Data.
Why is Picard fighting this?
Yeah.
Well, because of Data. Data's the exception, seemingly, to this rule, which is most of these androids are bad.
So Data actually might be broken.
Data might just be the exception to the rule. He's like.
So
he's
when
like
you watch Next Gen now, think about how he's malfunctioning.
Just like the
and being good.
Gizmo. Gizmo's a good Mogwai.
Yeah.
But all the other Mogwais are bad.
You literally brought in Gremlins. That's amazing.
Gremlins.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Because all Mogwais were bad except for
Wait. Mogwai.
No, the Mogwais were good.
Mogwais are all good. It's when they turn into gremlins that they're bad.
No, they were bad even in Mogwai form.
Really?
Only Gizmos.
They were mean to Gizmo, but that doesn't make them bad.
They were they
Oh,
they
yeah,
they,
that's right.
they
were
tricked
mean to
him into
Gizmo.
eating after midnight. They
Yeah.
chewed the alarm clock, remember?
Yeah, they were bad. Gizmo was a good. Yeah.
I think we're really stretching a Star
I
Trek
think the analogy
podcast.
works, but it's a good analogy. Okay, so then I'm not even done yet. So it's like, okay, so then Lore and Data, but then to Data, but Lore is the one who calls the crystalline entity to come destroy the colony. They leave Data behind. The original Juliana McDonnell, right? She leaves. She's like, no, we gotta leave Data behind because he might be like Lore. She gets killed. He creates a fake android version of his wife, who then goes off and leaves. So she's kind of like the best version, maybe.
Yeah. But she didn't know she was an android.
Yeah. Then there was Lau. Lau was good.
Lau was good. So
Oh God, I hate that episode.
And now we have this batch. Now we have this AI Soong. We got who's clearly not that good of a person, who's we're learning in this episode. Even in his first 20 minutes of screen time, we're like, oh, this guy's kind of bad.
Yeah.
He's more like the Soong family.
Yeah.
We also have in the original series with there's some android women.
Yeah,
Harry Mudd's women. Yeah.
Harry Mudd's women. Yeah. So, but those are unrelated to these androids. But But still, I'm just like, this whole Soong legacy is riddled with dubiousness and all kinds of questionable things, and like mostly malevolence, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they should do a spin-off where it's just like the Soongs and it's like the Kardashians.
Maybe
like just a train wreck.
The Soongs, yeah, that could be something like the Federation's worst family, the biggest scandal family.
Basically, anybody that enjoys Discovery probably would love that show.
Mm-hmm. But like what I'm talking about them sucking is that the fact that yes, the Romulans are coming to kill them, but there's a stretch between protecting yourself and then we're going to call the evil android cavalry, and they're going to wipe out all life for us. Like, not only are they going to save us from the Romulans, but then we're going to kill everybody. We're going to kill Picard. Who cares? He's got lines on his face.
Yeah, they just feel like this is the evolution of human species. Biological. They built them. Okay.
See, the minute they showed Soji's like earlier counterpart, what's her name? The one with we're showing her right now. She did the mind meld.
Oh, Sutra.
Sutra. Yeah. So ever since they saw Sutra, I'm like, yeah, no, they're up to no good. Like just automatically. Right.
Well, even Rios is like, I don't think I trust these people very much. And
it's the same thing with that episode with Wesley Crusher followed into the flower bed, and then they're like, well, now we have to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Next headline.
This kind of is, in a way, it's very classic Trek. Like, you get to this planet, they're good, you meet them, and then boom, things change.
Well, let me ask
that's true. That pretty much is almost every episode of the original series.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this though. Narek's on the loose, right? This kind of ties into the android suck thing. So who killed? What's her name?
Saja.
Saja.
Yeah. It was Sutra. Definitely.
Sutra took that little hummingbird icon.
Yeah, I think so. Or she stood there with Narek and said, "Do it. Okay, go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How'd that scar get off of Narek's face?
It was just I think they messed it up.
They messed that up.
I think that was a continuity issue.
Yeah.
Because they talked about it, you got a boo-boo, and we're going to come fix it. Well, unless Sutra fixed it for him, but I don't know why she would. Okay, but so Narek's out now. She killed one of her own to get all those androids riled up and whatever. Doesn't justify that I still think that they suck. And that they're, at least if some of them are like, okay, yeah, we'll go with you, Picard. If the others want to stay behind, then so be it. But can we be done with this character soon?
Who, Narek?
Narek? Is he done after this one?
No.
Does he continue?
I hope so. I hope his sister kills him.
Well, he's
That's
in
what I'm
the
hoping.
next episode.
Well, he's definitely in the next episode.
He's an
Yeah.
and, right? Okay, like when they do the opening credits, it's like Patrick Stewart, Alison Pill, the other two, and Santiago Cabrera, who's Rios, with Harry Treadaway, which is Narek. Here, I'm just gonna take off this image. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, like, will this character still be a main character next season?
I hope not.
No, I think this storyline.
I think his arc's coming to an end. I think he's going to get killed by something.
Yeah, because he's like got this, like, why would you even need this guy other than he's pretty good?
I think this is going to be one of those, like, his sister is going to, like, come down, cause some shit, and accidentally kill him.
Or they're
just going to be like,
or he's going to turn. He's going to turn at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be like, oh, I made a mistake.
Yeah, I feel like he might even jump to Soji's side once she turns and helps the.
Well, he was like, you misunderstand. I wasn't trying to kill you.
Yeah.
You know, well,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, you locked me in a room and gassed me, but no big deal.
Right.
Talk about a bad Tinder date.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have swiped left or right or whatever it is.
Yeah. All right, but here's my next question: do the Romulans have a point? Is what they're doing, are they now sort of an understandable, justifiable villain for this season?
Yes. I don't know which side I'm on at the moment. I'm a little
As we just
confused.
outlined, other than Data, most of his family sucks,
Mhm.
except maybe for Lau.
Mhm. So am I?
No, a lot of sucks, but for a completely different reason.
Like, okay, so am I I'm with Picard. He wants Soji to turn, but then are we gonna like kill all the synths and we'll just have Soji, and we have one good synth? I don't know.
Well, you're also assuming she's good.
I think the thing is Picard's gonna get through to her, and she's gonna make the right move, the right choice.
Right,
That's what her.
I don't know. Near the end of this episode, though, I kind of got the gist that she was actually kind of getting a little evil.
Oh yeah, she is.
She goes, "What's the logic of sacrifice?" And he was like, "It depends if you're the person holding the knife."
Yeah, she is going evil, but I think he's going to bring her back from the brink. He's going to die. They're going to transfer him into the golem, and then he's just going to be a voice next season. That's my call.
Picard?
Yeah.
Picard's only going to be a voice?
He's going to be a voice.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No? All right, we'll see.
Okay, so
I'm not saying they're not going to use that thing, but it's not going to be.
No, they're clearly setting that golem up. What is the setup for that? So AI Soong is building that for himself?
It's for himself, yeah.
I think it's for him.
He's building a robot body, not an organic robot body.
I think this whole
but a real
golem thing
body, right?
I don't know.
is going to end up being the new Data on the ship.
Oh.
So Brent Spiner is going to be like.
Is this a way of resurrecting Data or Brent Spiner's character?
But wait, what mind is going to be in this body?
It's going to be Soong's.
Okay.
No, I think it's good. It potentially could be Data because they could say that they could bring Data back from one neuron. That's how they created all these like children. So presumably there's a way through some bad writing to bring Data back.
Well, statistically speaking, if you actually look at Next Gen, the two most loved characters were those two, right? Those were the two that people really loved, and then they, the secondary cast was like, Worf and all those. So it wouldn't be absurd to think that they would want Brent Spiner in the regular cast.
No, it wouldn't be absurd.
It wouldn't be absurd to think that. So it's, I am hoping that's what happens, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Is this like a pseudo search for Data this season? And
this is almost like the search for Spock, but with Data.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right.
I'm bringing him back.
Spock barely stayed dead for a week, but Data's been dead at this point in the story for 20 years, right?
But the real question is Picard with Rios and a couple other people, are they going to go camping and sing row, row, row your boat?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the big question.
Or is it that okay, let's even just if we think about these, this is my next question, which is like not if he's going to survive, but how is Picard going to survive this Irumodic syndrome? Because I don't think that this season ends with that still hanging out there. I think
that's going to be throughout the whole series.
I think it's going to.
I think they're going to leave it through the whole series.
I think it's somehow resolved at the end of this next episode.
No,
because they've just been referencing it all the way along, and that this is sort of his.
But that's something that he's been living with since Next Gen.
Yeah,
yes,
it's progressing,
but it's only recently become like terminal, right? Like it's kind of like having a disease that has to activate, like sort of has to go into its.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't think the golem's for Picard. You can't tell me that they're going to make a fake version of Picard, and that's going to be the namesake of the show for the next couple seasons. I'm not buying that.
Could they fix?
It would be a risk.
Could they fix his Irumodic syndrome with another android mind meld? Because why not? It can do anything.
Well, they got the technology to do that. They might have the. I think maybe the Borg.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's a made-up thing. So
could they put this golem, transfer his brain into this golem mind, and then put the mind into his body?
I guess.
Oh.
I think Seven's going to be part of his recovery, if there is such a thing. I think it's going to be because they've mentioned before that the Borg, when they assimilate people that are sick, they can fix them.
The nanites or Borg?
Yeah.
Or they dispose of them. Depends if they have the technology to
nanoprobe. What are the little Borg things called?
Nanoprobes.
Nanoprobes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe what they're going to do is kind of give him a little bit of a Borg upgrade to make him live longer.
I don't think you want that.
There's too many Locutus references.
Locutus.
Yeah, like even like the guy on the Borg ship's like, Locutus?
Locutus, what are you doing here?
I thought you Did
you get my message?
We're part of the collective for years. Why are you
having a party here?
I sent you an email.
Yes.
Did you not see it?
No, not that. No, we have too many desserts, Locutus. You brought too much.
I sent you a request on PlayStation Network, and you never.
I'm not Locutus. Come on.
Only one pie.
Only one pie. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, like I don't know.
The golem thing, I think, is going to be forced soon. I can't see it any other way, or some variant of Data.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, Brent Spiner's an android at the end of this.
One way or the other, Brent Spiner's coming back for the next series. I'm almost positive of this.
Yeah.
Like Data himself, or this AI soon continues maybe as the next villain of some way.
We still have B4's head. B4's head has Data's memories.
But I really hope they don't resurrect B4 because B4 is kind of useless.
Yeah, but they get the memories from B4, put it in this golem, and
B4 reminded me of these like Saja and the twin sister, the only other androids that speak, other than the Sutra ones, right? The ones that are like, here's this device, it will fix your ship.
Yeah, what's
and
that
they're like, how does that work? And they're like, imagination, it's magic. It's
well, Data worked on his imagination.
Data always had very concrete explanations for what he was doing. No, now it's just like it's magic, whatever. You just gotta believe in it. It's like
the Star Trek universe is just magic now.
Yeah, it's just like you're Dumbo, and as long as you believe that feather is gonna make you fly, it will.
So what do you think that thing's gonna do next episode? It's gonna magically fix the ship.
Magically fix the ship.
And then maybe it'll like soup it up, like. I don't know. Who knows?
Probably. Why not?
Yeah.
We got to be sorcerer, Picard.
There are 218 Romulan warbirds coming. Which, by the way, good on the Romulans for. I thought they were wiped out by that supernova. They still got a pretty.
Well, they got 218 warbirds. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. They got a pretty good substantial force.
Is that like their whole fleet?
Can't imagine it's the whole fleet, but it's got to be a chunk of it.
It's got to be a good chunk.
Yeah.
So do they have a homeworld now? I thought their homeworld at the beginning of this. I thought their homeworld was the artifact. But
No. They're just more scattered people. It seems like they're just kind of
they're nomads now.
A little bit. Like
they live where they want.
So enough of them survived, but yeah. Okay. Do I have any more headlines? I think that was it. Let's go back to the episode. There we go. So, all right. So, so during that whole ending sequence, right, where it's, she talks about the logic of sacrifice, all these kinds of things that you just all killing just boil down to fear is the question that's sort of left here, and that this whole moral dilemma is going to be about Soji needing to overcome her fear and sort of rising to the occasion and prove to them they're not who you say you are, and prove to them you're good. And what is the metaphor? What is the real life allegory that this is tying into? Is this about the way people treat refugees, perhaps, or people who might have some dubious past?
I don't know. I'm blanking out on what this actually could be in modern times here on this planet. What are they going for?
I think it's more like they're trying to say that, you're not who you were born into just because maybe your culture or whatever says one thing. You can kind of go against it. You can kind of prove that you're not. You don't have to, lean into these terrible things people say about you. And I'm thinking about certain minority groups. I'm thinking about certain religions, whatever. And that it's, we need to judge everybody on sort of the merits of their individual
It's true.
actions.
It's true.
It seems a little too deep.
Here.
Is it too deep?
Yeah.
This is too deep.
Okay, well, in the preview, the quote is, what the whole point is like, if Picard can get through to Soji, that's what this whole next episode's going to be. Plus a lot of pew, 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 and some fighting, right?
Yeah.
But it's show them you're not the destroyer. You're not Sebichev or whatever it was.
Yes. Don't be bad.
Don't be bad.
Don't be bad.
It's tough. It's so easy to want to be bad.
Yeah.
Especially when you're part of this evil Soong robot family.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Evil Soong.
To do the right thing.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. And convince her people to do the right thing. And live peacefully with the Federation and Romulans who hate you. It's kind of a hard thing to do.
Yeah. But it's like
trying to kill you.
Right. But there's a difference between defending yourself.
The doctor is also down on that planet for some god-awful reason other than plot. But so I think what's going to end up happening is there's going to be some massive land war, and most of them are going to get wiped out. Soon's going to be a casualty, and she's going to be the one that's going to transfer him into the golem. That's where I'm going.
Who's
Jody.
Jody.
Oh yeah, she's like, again, she was helping Soong. So her she was helping Soong because he's like, you owe us a great debt, which he's kind of saying to Jody, I need your help.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put my mind into this thing. I know a bunch of Romans are coming to kill me, so I'm extra motivated to do this. I could really use your help.
Do you also get the impression that these people who live on this planet are not the brightest bulbs?
Yeah.
So they lock up Sarek. Is it Sarek? No. Narek, Sarek, whatever.
Yeah.
Almost the same thing. But no, not really. But anyway, they lock him up, and then they put literally the stupidest person possible to watch him.
Yeah.
Like, she literally, you can tell she's not all there.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like,
maybe she's the smartest one there.
Let me hit the pad and open it up for him for a minute. It's like, I thought these guys were supposed to be an advanced race, but
it seems like they're naive because they've never met anybody.
I think they're genetically stupid. I think that's really what it is.
So what I was thinking in that scene is she's like, I can tell if he's lying, but why couldn't Soji tell when Narek was lying
She didn't
when
know
they
she
were
was
dating?
an android. But she knew
so
other
they
things.
turned that feature off. You think they would want to keep that feature if she was on a mission?
Well, yeah, considering, she's kind of been bred to be a killer, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, she's got all these combat moves and stuff. You'd think anything that could help her in her position would be something that you'd keep on. But it's almost like it's, convenient for the plot for her not to have that, and then eventually she'll have it. It's just like, oh, by the way, they can mind meld.
They can mind meld,
but you can't find somebody who's smart enough to fucking keep the guy in the thing. Like, come on. And then what's her name shows up? Evil Soji.
Yeah.
Evil Soji shows up and she's like, no, I'm gonna watch him. And no one even questions that. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Evil Soji's gonna watch him. It's fine. It's like they're not all there.
Yeah.
These are genetically screwed up people. This is why cloning is bad.
Well, they're not really even cloned. Well, are they clones? I guess
they have to be
the same genetic
the twins.
template.
And that's another thing. They're all wearing their necklaces, I noticed, except for
everybody. Yeah, that was the other thing. Every android
not wearing it. Her
Sutra didn't wear a necklace,
because her sister died, and then you stopped wearing your twin necklace. Wow.
Which is weird because Soji still wears hers.
You're right. Yeah. So why?
But you also have to assume that Soji isn't following the protocols of the planet because
she doesn't know.
She didn't really know, right?
Slightly starting to know, but as plot helps.
All right. So I just want to talk about the title of this episode, which is about the two paintings I want to kind of reference here. So I'm just going to bring them up on screen so we can have a thing. So I think that the whole, you have two ways of going. If you remember from the beginning of the season, there were, first I'm going to show you this. There was two, so Picard has the painting in his study, right? That Data gave him many years ago. Where's that?
Where you see the face or you don't see the face.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I'm using my hands. There we go.
Right.
There they are.
So the painting on the right was the one that was hanging up in Picard's study that Data had given him. There was a second painting that he had in a storage unit, which shows Soji looking. Right? And that's how he figures out that Daj is Data's daughter, basically, in the pilot. So basically, there's one where she's looking at you, and there's one where she's looking away.
Okay, and we're sure that Data didn't know about this planet and what was going on?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Well, we're not sure, but it's never been mentioned, so it's like, how would we know, right?
It doesn't seem to be. It seems to be the timing seems to suggest it all happened after he died.
Okay.
Right? So he painted these paintings. So these are the ones they've shown us in the show, which they're clearly trying to reference here. Just take a second. There's this one.
And up.
Hi.
This is my podcast now.
Hello.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So this is this artist. His name is Giovanni Francesco Barberi. And he painted two paintings titled that share the title of this episode in Arcadia Ego, about roughly 10 to 15 years apart. The first one is on the right, the left, and then the newer one is on the right. So one is much more grim and dark and sort of death related, whereas the other one is more optimistic and utopian and referencing sort of the wisdom of the shepherds. Mm-hmm. So that has clearly been the two paintings, the dichotomy, the twins, the necklace, everything. Even the fact that Sutra is sort of this mirror image, well, more than sort of, she is this mirror image of Soji. We've talked about the Data and lore thing. We've talked about even Data and B4 thing. And now here, so the theme of duality, of sort of mirror images, all of that is just being thrown at us hardcore. And that's where this is all sort of resolving. That's where the arc of the season's going. And I'm sort of underwhelmed by it a little bit. It doesn't seem.
Do we know what sutra means? I know Karma Sutra.
What did Jhana and Sutra?
But what does just sutra? The word sutra.
Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra, but sutra, and it's not Just
Jhana?
no,
Sutra.
like the sex thing.
It's a literary rule of aphorism.
Sutras are like scriptures.
Yeah.
Basically.
So like Kama Sutra.
Ooh, the Jhana Sutra.
All right. Let's keep this friendly.
Do you think it's possible that Maddox and AI Soong were into the Kama Sutra?
Well, they did have children together.
They did have children together.
Yeah.
And he's pretty pissed off that Agnes got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been some Kama Sutra happening there.
Some Kama Sutra.
Oh.
Some Jhana Sutra.
Oh.
What the hell are we doing here, guys? You guys need a moment, or like it's fine. You're married. I get it.
We're in isolation here.
We're in isolation.
We're a little crazy.
We're losing our minds.
This isolation thing's really getting to you, is it?
We're in quarantine.
But not really. No.
Well, you're not in
We
quarantine.
haven't been exposed.
We're in
yet.
Quarantine means you've been exposed.
Yes. No.
Anyway,
We're aware of. We're being careful.
let's talk about better things.
Yes. Like, okay.
I don't know if I can find one in this show, but
Better things.
Yeah.
well, this is better than Discovery.
Not really. This is very much like Discovery.
No, it's not. No, it's way better than Discovery.
It's way better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picard? Better than Discovery? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they screw it up.
All you have to say is Red Angel to me. And then...
Oh, Red Angel. Yeah. Unless they screw this up, I'm still on board with Picard. Totally.
Yeah, there's some things I would tweak. But mostly
You have to remember this is the first season.
Yeah.
Remember the first season in Next Gen?
Yeah.
it's a very
Even the
different
second
era.
season in Next Gen.
Even Deep Space first season, like them all. Voyager first season with Cass.
First 2 seasons of Enterprise.
Yeah. So I think Picard's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I think that they like just from watching both shows and the fact that they have the same creative team, creative leads. Like I see there are things that they do like this with this long narrative, like with this long arc that it feels like it takes a while. It takes a long time to sort of get to the point, and then it's sort of in like the last couple episodes, it's like like it's we're gonna load everything up.
Bang, bang, bang. We're done.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 and that was the whole point of it all. And aren't we clever? And
well, I'm hoping for this. I'm hoping for Sung to get killed somehow and get transferred into a golem. I'm hoping that the Romulans do cause some shit because that's really the only thing interesting so far. And I hope somewhere down the line Agnes gets killed. That's really what I'm going for. And you know what? Throw in Raffi for extra measure if you can.
I just throw her in jail. Like, let's just Jody, you're going to jail.
Do you think we're going to get the mirror universe in Picard maybe next season, just like Discovery did?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can with this series. I don't think it would work. What would be the point? The whole point of the mirror universe stuff and most of the other series was kind of to break off and show you the extreme other side. Well, we already have the extreme other side in this show, right? We have both sides already. Whereas Next Gen is more positive. Yeah.
Twins.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So in the preview, we saw it looked like a portal open. Am I correct? We saw a red portal opening. Is that?
It's not a red angel.
It is not a red angel. I hope not. But and little black things? Is that what I saw? Portals. So the synthetics are coming.
Yeah.
Is that?
Do you think they'll turn out to be good?
I hope not.
I don't know. The evil synthetics.
The show needs a little bit more carnage.
Yeah.
No, they're saying they'll wipe out but who knows?
I predict they'll show up. They're not evil, and then all of the synths will leave with them, except for Soji, who's going to stay behind.
Yeah.
And then she'll be the last android.
Yeah, I can see that. Along with Golem Data.
Golem Data.
I want Golem Data. That's what I want. I'm not going to get it, but that's what I want.
So
I'll take Golem soon. That's fine. As long as I get to see more Brett Spiner, I'm happy.
So she's going to plead to these other people, whatever. She's going to make a plea. Please, please, please save
Oh, I'm hoping like Jody like switches teams. That'd be amazing.
She
And
kind of
Jody
already
does.
has, right? Like
Well,
they're like, lock her up too, and she's like, no, don't lock me up. I'm helping. And they're like, oh, right, you're helping.
Yeah.
So,
well, she threw Picard under the bus. We already know that. So she's really good at doing that. She's a terrible character.
Did they lock up Rios and Jody too?
I don't probably.
Because we see in like the preview that like Elnor shows up and he's punching Six. He's not having any of that.
He's kicking some ass. Yeah. I don't know.
Probably.
They never really touch it that much, do they?
No.
Let me ask you this: what's the final position of these characters of the main cast when the next episode's finished? Like, we're sort of like, is everybody back on the ship? Are we back on La Serena? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a war is going to break out on this planet, and I think Picard's going to get his ass onto a ship, and they're going to leave.
And everybody, like, including Allison Pill, including...
and I hope he leaves her there. Yeah, and maybe he says something smart like, yeah, I'm helping.
But do you think...
Maybe he says that as he leaves.
Well, the question is, does Jody survive? Or does she just kind of go off with the team?
If she survives, I hope she's put in a position where we can kill her later. That's if she survives, maybe she goes with, the Romulans. I'm okay with that. But
if we don't kill her now, we can kill her later.
If we don't kill her in the next episode, let's kill her at least next season. I'm good with this too. Like, we already know there's going to be people showing back up next season, so we already know that there's going to be other things. Mm-hmm. We know that LeVar Burton's going to be showing up sometime down the line. It's still rumored that Worf is going to show up. We're going to see more next gen, so there's got to be more to this story. So I think what's going to happen is I think Picard inadvertently is going to start another war. I think that's what's going to happen.
With this,
the Romulans?
Yeah. I think there's going to be a little bit more Romulan tension going on, and there's going to be some more shit happening, and then you're going to have Seven dropping by every so often.
Now Starfleet is going to Starbase 12, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah.
So is Starfleet going to follow their trail, and maybe Starfleet's going to all of a sudden come to this planet?
Well, we saw in the episode, Picard briefly is trying to call Starfleet, right? He's like,
right? Yeah, he's like, we're going to get your shit here.
We're not where you think we're supposed to be. We're here instead.
So Starfleet's going to come.
Are they the cavalry?
That's the cavalry.
And they're going to help the Romulans or fight against the Romulans?
Fight against the Romulans, I guess.
I think they'll fight whoever shoots at them.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works with the Federation.
Yeah, that's gonna we can assume that Clancy and her fleet are gonna show up. So
maybe we'll see some Avery Brooks or something.
Oh.
Maybe he'll show up and he's still flying around in that damn thing.
I would love to think that's possible, but I can't imagine we're ever going to get like some kind of a reveal that we're not ready for in this show. Everything with the show has been like the information.
It's been pretty cut and paste. Yeah, we're expecting all this stuff that's happening.
I wasn't expecting Icheb.
Icheb was the biggest secret of this show, like the fact that he was coming back to die, probably because they didn't bring back the original actor. So that's about it. Like,
who cares about Icheb?
Icheb.
What's that?
Icheb
strong.
Icheb. I'm making go Icheb on you. I will.
The three people who are going to watch this episode, I hope they chime in and tell us how bad Icheb is, because that character sucked from the minute it happened.
He's like a Wesley, isn't he?
He's not that bad.
Oh no, he's worse than a Wesley.
He's not worse than a Wesley.
Oh yes, he is. Now, are we going to see Will Wheaton sometime soon? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I don't.
Does Will Wheaton just show up on the planet and go, "Hey guys," and then Picard just turns around and goes, "Shut up, Wesley."
That'd be great.
And then that's his whole episode right there.
I would love a getting the gang back together season. I don't know if it has to be season 2, but I would love like a season where we're getting all the next gen crew.
Well, if the show does well and they make lots of money, maybe.
Well,
be able to afford them.
Where's the Enterprise E at this point?
We don't know.
Like we haven't really been told that, have we?
Semi-canonical sources indicate that Worf became the first officer after Data died, and then Worf became the captain of the Enterprise.
He became the captain when Riker and Picard left. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know what happened after that. So, if the Enterprise,
but Picard was with fuzzy hair girl.
Yeah, Raffi.
He was with Raffi after Enterprise E.
Right. Yeah.
Right, because he was serving as an admiral then.
When he was promoted to admiral to lead the Romulan rescue efforts, yeah, he left the Enterprise at that point.
Yes. So then Worf might have it.
Worf
so maybe
might have
Worf
it.
shows up.
Well, yeah, like
maybe he just shows up.
That is low hanging fruit.
Like, yeah, we're in the neighborhood. We're gonna cause some shit.
Like, could you imagine if Worf and the Enterprise E showed up in the next battle? Everyone would lose their minds. Like, but I can't imagine.
Now that would be unexpected.
So is this going to be the cliffhanger? They're going to be fighting, and all of a sudden through the
right. It'll be like Avengers Endgame, and it'll be like Falcon,
yeah.
Be like, on your left, and then all of a sudden it's the Enterprise E comes in through the portal, and it's like, woo, we got them all.
And Defiant.
Yeah, the Defiant's here. We don't even know how that got here.
Yeah.
Who now like Jadzia is driving it or something. Well, no, actually, she can't. But anyway,
because the fans are so starved for the nostalgic stuff, right? Like we've seen, like the biggest highlights of the show have been like Picard himself and Jerry Ryan also, because we know her already, and she's back. And
fuck Egypt. But no, and Jerry Ryan would be a great continuation in this show. I really hope they keep her for a while. Like it's.
I hear someone in the peanut gallery.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, you got some contesting there. But yeah, no, like it'd be nice to see Jerry Ryan in there, and maybe they give her a ship or something, or she comes with her own ship, and she's got a new ship now.
Even if they wanted to do like some animated shows, what I would love is fill in the gap, fill in the last 20 years, show me like the Picard and Worf on the Enterprise days, like with them as captain, as first officer.
Well, Worf, if you look at the history of Next Gen and even the movies and all that, Worf always seems to kind of show up when Picard needs him. Mm-hmm. So it's like
movies, especially.
I'm here now.
Mm-hmm. Through most of the movies, the 3 of the 4 movies, he's on Deep Space Nine. So they always reference it. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're back from Deep Space Nine, are you?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're here again for fun, and then you're gonna leave again. All right.
Why are you here? Oh, right, because we're making a movie, and you're in this. Yeah. You're part of the original cast, and people.
So maybe Worf will show up, and he'll be like, "I heard you're making a series. Figured I'd show up.
I figured I'd show up. That's what happened.
The Enterprise. Right? It was a lot of fun. Wesley's now my first officer." Right. Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
Because I think they've been sticking away from more from the Klingons, especially because of Discovery. But
let's look at what the Discovery did to the Klingons. Like, let's be honest.
Can you imagine Worf in that makeup? That'd be so sick.
Well, they're not going to do that.
No,
they're not going to do that. But hopefully, they make another reference like they did with that crossover episode in DS9. It's like, what's with their foreheads?
Yeah,
it's like we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that anymore. Because in the second season of Discovery, their answer was just to give them hair, right? Like, the Klingons are growing their hair again, but they still look like goblins, guys.
Yeah.
It's just they don't look like Klingons.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, So I'm kind of like, that's what I'm kind of like. There's gonna be some kind of great battle. There's gonna be, I think, gonna be a moment we're all gonna love, and then
This episode is going to be the moment of truth for this series, though, because this is where we decide whether we're going to continue with it.
Yeah, they got to.
Because it was just like Discovery. Discovery kind of like, I didn't even watch all of the first season, but what most people are telling me is like the first season was kind of like, I guess I'll watch it again.
Did we have the Lorca reveal at the end?
It wasn't even at the end. It was like sort of towards the end.
Towards the end,
right? Because
Mirror Universe, is that how it ended?
No, it ended more with them like the Klingon War ending, and Burnham gets reinstated into Starfleet, and
see, it was very memorable.
And then they say, "Oh, we've been called a distress signal from the Enterprise," and then they meet up with the Enterprise under Pike. That's how the show ends.
Yeah, it was the Enterprise. Yes.
So
Yes, yes, yes.
I fully expect some form of cliffhanger because every episode of Discovery and every episode of Picard has ended on some kind of a
Oh,
cliffhanger.
it's gonna cliffhanger for sure. At least this was an episode where they didn't start with a memory, because like every
Or a
episode has
flashback,
been
yeah.
like a flashback or a memory.
Yeah.
This episode just started. You know, it was nice. The credits didn't even like happen until like 10, 15 minutes in. So
That's
it was
true.
like,
Consider that.
you know, so it was a nice pacing change, I guess is a good way to say it. But I think this is the episode that's going to decide whether I want to continue to watch it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So far, I'm still on the fence at this point. It's
are you?
I am. It's getting hard, man. It really is. Like
Really?
There are episodes, and
Oh.
it's because you're watching this longer story, and I think because there's definitely predictable elements at times.
Well, it is definitely a format difference, right? Like, you know, we're used to Star Trek where, you know, everything's summed up in 44 minutes or whatever. Whereas, you know, this has been a long drawn thing that's been like, well, the Doctor's been crazy for 4 episodes now. You know, it's like all these things, like, and they're not using Rios nearly as much as they should.
Yeah.
Rios, he seems to be a pretty good, like, he seems to be a pretty good actor himself anyway, because like, especially when he's playing all the different holograms and stuff, it's like, you know, I want to see more of him. I want to see him. I would love to see him create almost like a more of a Riker Picard bond between the two of them, where, you know, you always do. There was always a hint of Picard being always kind of annoyed at Riker, but yet he loved him. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, I hope we see kind of a Rios thing with that, but it's definitely going to end on a cliffhanger. It's probably going to end on a cliffhanger of what's Soji going to do? You know, that's going to be the cliffhanger. Or, you know, Soji's pointing a gun at somebody she shouldn't be pointing it at or something, you know, something like that.
Just knowing how Discovery kind of has went and what this creative team tends to do. I think that they're going to wrap up this story. I think Soji's going to ultimately show them she's not the destroyer, and somehow everyone's going to lay their weapons down. And I think that there's sort of going to be a resolution. But I think at the end, it's going to be like, guess what? Q's back, or guess what?
Well,
like,
Q is now confirmed. He's confirmed.
He's confirmed?
He's confirmed.
Yeah, he's confirmed he will be returning.
How can you say you're not going to continue watching if you know Q's coming back?
That's the only thing that would bring me back.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe we'll even see Q in this episode coming up.
Well, I could see like something like that being like, what is the last 30 seconds of this next episode?
Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, Q shows up and goes,
Q shows
well,
up.
trial's starting again.
Or somebody we know or we're familiar with already that's going to get us excited.
Well, I think if you're going to bring anybody, it's going to be something like Worf or some sort of supporting character that's going to show up with an armada or something. Like, that's the only thing I can see at this point. I think we're going to have a war of some sort. It's going to start a conflict, and then somebody's going to show up. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Right. But John DeClancy has confirmed that he is going to be in the Picard series.
Next year?
It looks like it'll be next season, though. Yeah, this is what he kind of hinted at. He didn't say when he's going to be in it, but he is definitely in it.
Great. Yeah.
But it could be a flashback, right? We don't know. Could be a flashback of him thinking about, the first, encounter of Farpoint.
What's the worst that you could imagine as that cliffhanger?
The worst thing?
Yeah.
I
got one for you.
The Doctor leads the rebellion. I don't know.
Jane, you have a theory?
A kiss between Jody and Rios?
Yeah, we already had that.
Well, we never had that. They didn't actually kiss. Did they kiss?
I think implied they had.
It was implied, but they didn't actually do it.
They kicked
it. Yeah.
They kicked it for sure. But yeah. I really hope they kill off Jody. God, I hope they kill her off.
I see that, like, instead of it's Q, imagine, right? And it's like the on screen, right? And then it's like Pulaski. Pulaski's like, I say is it data or is it data? I don't know. Like, what's the difference?
Or she comes up to Soji and she's like, are you alive? It's like, they tell me you're alive, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. I don't really like no one liked Pulaski.
Could be. Where is Wesley Crusher? He's still off with the Traveler. Is that where like he's?
Oh, it would be better.
He could do a Q.
Oh,
thing.
the Traveler
Wesley
just
Crusher
shows up with him. That'd be amazing.
Wesley and saves the day.
If, okay, great version would be like Wesley and the Traveler show up, and we have to go to other planes of existence. Come on, or something.
I don't have nearly the hatred for Wesley that you guys do, but
my version would be this. It's Wesley Crusher, but it's the Wesley Crusher from Barclay's like hologram program where he's got all the chocolate all over his face, right? He's like, oh, what's going on, right? And he's just like, this.
Oh, when he was making fun of everyone.
Come on, Jean-Luc, we're going on a mission. He's got the chocolates here. No?
Well, I remember the sexy.
What I hope to see is if they do bring back Will Wheaton, I really hope they bring him back as like some sort of like seasoned, he's seen a lot of shit. Like he's a jolted guy now. Like that's what I want to see Will Wheaton, because Will Wheaton can play a really mean guy.
The jilted Will Wheaton.
That he's done. Yeah.
The jilted Wesley Crusher, who won't look like that aged up version we saw in the season.
No.
It was like Mr. Buff and strong.
The puffy one.
Yeah. Oh God, that was terrible. That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible.
Like, let's get an actor who will look like Will Wheaton. Might look like in 10 years or 20 years.
Yeah, he still looks like he did when he was a kid.
Will Wheaton right now looks like what Will Wheaton would be 20 years from the show. So I think it'll be fine. So
yeah.
I can't see how that would be an issue, but you know what? I honestly don't know how they could make it bad, but it's definitely like
I'm trying to picture Pulaski, Wesley Crusher with the chocolate on his face. Oh, it's Alexander. Alexander
for sure would kill it. Like if wouldn't that suck if like Worf shows up with the Enterprise and like his first officer is Alexander? And Picard's just like, you son of a bitch, what did you do to my ship? You know, that kind of thing.
But, I don't think there's any risk of Loxana showing up.
Rachel Barrett's been gone for a while.
She's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
The lady who played Pulaski, I don't know if she's alive either.
She is still alive.
Is she? Oh, okay.
There's Pulaski resolution. Nobody cares. Nobody ever asked, bring Pulaski back. Or
that was a terrible season.
The other one that could be cool is like Ro Laren. That would be unexpected.
I would love to see Ro Laren back. Yeah, I would love to see.
Michelle Forbes shows up and says,
Michelle Forbes is still acting because she was in the Hunger Game movies.
Yeah,
at least 2 of them. She played a little side character, but she was there. So she's still acting. So
yeah.
She was in Battlestar Galactica. She was really good in that.
Oh, was she? I never actually saw Battlestar Galactica. So
you should check it out.
Oh, you haven't what?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
I've seen like little tiny snippets of it, and I'm like, oh, this is way too diplomatic bullshit for me.
Oh, it's nothing like that.
No, okay. Well, maybe I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
So I gotta wait until October for new episodes of Picard anyway, so maybe I'll do that in the
Battlestar.
And current situation in the world, I got some time.
Yeah.
So
we all do.
Can't go to the movies right now.
Nope. Yeah. Can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere. But we can do this. We can podcast.
That's right.
And I've been saying to everybody in the recent weeks, once we're done this season of Picard, we'll go back and watch some old stuff, baby. We'll do rewatch the movies.
I'd love to sit on a panel for Nemesis. I'm just letting you know now.
Well, that's probably it's been a while till we get to Nemesis. I'm thinking about.
You want to see Salty? I'll show you Salty.
I'll show you Salty. Now, let's see Salty here in the Nemesis. We got Star Trek 1, which who is brave enough to go with that? Everybody will want to be on Star Trek 2 for Wrath of Khan.
Oh yeah,
Wrath of Khan was good.
But it's the people brave enough to go on the difficult, the difficult movies. The 1, the 3,
all the odd
ones.
Yeah,
right.
The odd ones are not good.
Generations is okay.
But I also, and I know this is against a lot of people's things, I didn't think Star Trek 4 was that good.
I loved it. I did.
I know people loved it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I get it, but I just, as a Star Trek movie, no.
I get it.
I understand. It's not a very good movie.
I understand. It's a little campy.
But out of the original series movies, I like 6 the best.
Me too.
I Discover Country, in my opinion.
6 is my favorite.
It's better than Wrath of Khan.
2, and then Wrath of Khan. What's your third favorite?
Third favorite?
Yeah.
Probably Voyage Home then. It would have to be.
Right.
Because 1, 3, and 5 are just.
What about First Contact?
What's that?
We're just talking about the original.
Oh, the original,
movies.
just
originals. Yeah, the out of the next gen movies, First Contact is definitely my favorite.
It's the best one by far. And then Generations probably after.
I like Generations. It wasn't bad.
It's not great.
It's not a good movie, but it's not.
There's
bad.
things I don't like about it, but like for most part, it holds up. So
yeah, Nemesis is clearly the worst one, and the one before Nemesis wasn't very good either. Insurrection. Yeah, Insurrection was boring. Insurrection could have easily been an episode.
Yeah,
and they could have.
That was the criticism. Even Generations and what was this called? Insurrection. They were the big criticism was they just felt like longer next year.
Well, Generations, the whole point was they had to patch the two series together. That's really what they had to do. So the movie universe had to expand, right?
Right. Yeah. No. They had to do that movie, and I'm glad.
I like Generations.
Generations was fun.
Yeah, let's all get behind Generations. All right.
Fun.
Generations, First Contact.
It was nice to see.
Undiscovered.
Yeah, these are the best ones.
Let's get Star Trek out there.
And then
4.
And then I probably put the 2009 Chris Pine movie.
The first one.
Changed it.
The first one wasn't bad.
It's for an action movie.
Yeah, first one, not bad.
For what it is, as long as you go in going, this is going to be a watered down version of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Then
Kurtzman's been riding that wave for 10 years. So
what's that?
Kurtzman, he's like Alex Kurtzman's the new Rick Berman. He's the guy.
Yeah, he's like the showrunner kind of guy, right?
And he was co-writer on that 2009 J.J. Abrams movie.
The third movie in the new like reboot though.
No, the first one.
Oh no,
the third one was terrible though. Beyond or whatever.
It was boring.
Beyond.
Especially the girl with the white makeup on. Oh god, she was annoying.
I'd rather be bored than to get what we got with that Benedict Cumberbatch's con business, which I definitely didn't.
There was some scenes in that movie that weren't bad, but again, that was a long-running movie that didn't need to be that long. There was so much.
And then when Quinto's like, con, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's been this episode of Live Long and Podcast. We'll be picking it up next week where we go to the finale of season 1 at an Arcadia Ego Part 2, episode 10. We've speculated on where things are going to end up. We know who we want to die, who we want to live, and maybe what we want our big season 2 cliffhanger to be. Who knows when season 2 will come around with this.
If they want to kill most of the women in this show, I'm okay. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be sexist.
Yeah.
They're just terrible characters.
I keep Raffi around, and Soji can stay, but Girardi's.
I hope Raffi.
Girardi's got to go. Soji can stay.
Who's got to go?
Girardi's got to go.
Girardi's got to go for sure. I think she's going to probably end up going in the next episode, and if she doesn't go in the next episode, she's definitely going to be going in the next season for sure. Yeah. They can't keep her for this long.
7's great.
Yeah, actually, that's the only one I wouldn't want.
Yeah. Gotta keep 7.
I hope we get to see more of the Rangers stuff.
Girardi's the only one I would be.
Maybe we'll see like Picard join the Rangers.
Yeah.
That might be interesting.
Lead the Rangers.
Maybe.
He won't lead them.
Do we know if there is a leader?
They have a planet.
Ranger. Yeah.
They have a whole planet. Yeah.
I get the impression there's only a couple of them, but it's possible he gets pulled in that direction. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Hateful Eight kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like it's like frontier justice. It's like Wild West.
I'm okay with that though.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian has taught me that it's okay to have that type of stuff.
Western in your
Firefly. Yeah. Firefly kind of.
Oh yeah, Firefly.
Firefly was the pioneer.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to sign off. We're at almost an hour and a half. So the last time I went 2 hours, didn't work so well. So thanks, everyone. Check in next week and make sure to keep up with us during quarantine and after as we
quarantine.
Stay safe, everybody.
Stay in your box.
Stay inside. Stay on the internet. That's it.
Yeah. Stay on the internet and watch us and listen to us.
And
whatever your preferred platform
and protect your TP.
We're available on Facebook. We're available on YouTube. We're available on whatever audio platform you might use, iTunes, whatever. We're there. Just look us up and plug in and leave comments and likes
and help out old people.
Help out old people. Deliver them
Stop buying
groceries.
all this fucking toilet paper. They need toilet paper too.
Use the 3 seashells, right?
What's that?
You don't know what the 3 seashells?
Oh, I know what it is. Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Or when you need toilet paper, just swear next to the swear machine and the verbal morality statue. We gotta watch that. We're watching Demolition Man. Get ready.
You never seen Demolition Man?
No.
Yeah.
That is a Wesley Snipes classic.
It's so good. It's so good. We gotta watch that.
You gotta watch that shit. That's good.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Right.
Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm Dave Mader.
I'm Jane Maynor.
And I'm salty.
And he's salty. Live long and podcast. Check you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Are we offline now?
Un momento.
It says offline on mine.
Momento. Un momento.
I'm just waiting for this thing to stop spinning. I think so.
Oh, well, we still listening. This is what we do after.
We go.
We get more casual.